disables zero productions, and decided you didn't even see the video according to YouTube's 0 views. But there was once an installer, now there no longer is. But World of Kirbycraft's release means now I must explain to everyone how to get it. Do note, if you're a Linux user, you will have to use the gzdoom wiki's tutorial for how to compile it on Linux. It supports many different Linux, including Ubuntu and many of the other ones. You'd be surprised how many of them it supports. And then you'd have to move the game data that I bring up soon into the hidden file, well, the hidden folder in your home folder. But still, this is for Windows because, no offense, Linux, but Windows is a bit more user-friendly, so let's explain how to do this. First off, go to GitHub. There will be a URL in the description. Since World of Kirbycraft is on GitHub, that's where you'll find it. Now, on this particular page, hit that thing that says Releases. It has like a tag beside it. Once you hit that, you should see a post. I don't know how GitHub works, but I'm going to assume that the one on top is going to be the newest release. Find the one with the highest number with alpha after it. So like if there's one called 1.1 alpha, then head for that instead. But scroll down past the description until you find the downloads. You'll find that there's a few of them here: the source code, game data, and compiled windows. We only want to worry about these up here, so click on compiledwindows.zip and gamedata.zip. If you're using Internet Explorer or something for some reason, they'll ask you if you want to open or save. Tell it to open. There's no need to save these zip files. Whenever either of them download, open them up. Select all the files, then in whatever zip program you're using, tell them to extract. In 7-zip and here, it will be pretty similar. You just find the extract button, which in Windows 10, beware, they hide it up here in the ribbon. Extract it somewhere. I'm going to extract it to a folder on my hard drive called WACTemp. Repeat this for both of them, meaning do this for both the game data and for the engine. Make sure you stick them in the same folder, as that's very important. Once they're all done transferring, then go and open up that folder that you created. You should see all of these files right here. You'll see files like data, fmod.exe, and walk.exe, which are, well, that's the game's executable on Windows. All of these WADs and PK3s are the game data, including FreeDoom, which is currently being used temporarily as the iWAD to start the game. Now, I've tested it before, and drag and dropping is glitchy and it tries to add itself twice, but I've seen that this batch file, which I added from the Windows installer, actually is capable of starting the game. So basically, just double click on this batch file and the game will start. If you see a Windows protected your PC dialog, on Windows 7, it's just a normal dialog in the middle of your screen. Go down to the bottom of it and hit run. Also be sure to uncheck the checkbox that says show this again. On Windows 10, they try to hide it from you because they think batch files are dangerous in this day and age, but hit more info right here, then hit run anyway. The game should start up, hopefully without any errors. Well, except for all that red text, but ignore that. Let me just temporarily turn this off. So anyways, then you should see the title screen of FreeDoom. This is perfectly normal. Hitting escape will reveal World of Kirbycraft. And from here, you're able to play the game. Since this is based on gzdoom, you might be assuming that I left all the controls unchanged, but nope. Look right here. I actually changed the controls and made them more modern. See that? W, S, A, and D? Shift, space, Q. For some reason, these down here aren't defined, like secondary and reload. I'll have to fix these. I don't know why they aren't defined. It looks really incomplete and really glitchy, but just configure the rest of the controls yourself, because for some reason a lot of them aren't defined. A lot of them aren't defined correctly, but at least I tried. Some of them are defined. This will be fixed in later releases. Also, notice that the window isn't full screen in really small resolution. I manually edited the source code to make it so that it isn't full screen by default. You can make it full screen by hitting Alt plus Enter, if you're curious, but why would you make this game full screen? So, hit Alt plus Enter to make it not full screen. So, if you want to change all the game settings, it's very hard to see because of how the arrow is colored. The arrow is colored really dark pink and it blends in, but still, hopefully I can change this in the future once I find out how to change the console font. But if you hit like gzdoom options, you'll be able to see all these leftover menus here. A lot of them look messed up, but eventually I'll probably get rid of these and I'll probably just make my own here like these. But you can go through these menus and change all the settings. Like you can make that be a blue and orange fade. You can turn on and off the cheats. You can even change the soundtrack, but beware about normal because it may cause copyright strikes on YouTube. So have it on MIDI by default. So to start testing the game, even though it's very incomplete right now, in later versions there actually will be probably levels and stuff, but I'll show you how to start up stuff. I've already explained how to start up the game and how to download it, so all the main steps have already been done and you can just feel free to do those and play the game already, but I'm just explaining more. Hit Start Game, then select a class, Mary or Arthas. Mary doesn't even have a graphic for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think it's loading that file personally. Choose DLC, choose Test. Choose the difficulty, and the game will start up. Oh yeah, and also, notice this is actually a completely clean install, which means basically I did it without any previous configuration. Notice that mouse look is on by default. I turned off look spring and turned on mouse look by default. So mouse look is default, you're able to jump. Essentially the game is very playable. There's still a few things missing like the HUD, but you can bring down the console by pushing the tilde button, which is located near Tab, Q, and 1 on your keyboard. It looks like a swiggle and the diagonal line, but then it brings this thing down. You only have to type in take, space, and then NOHUD, and then push plus and minus. No wait, push left and right square bracket until you see this really tiny HUD pop up. Not sure if this will fix it, but bring down the console and type in HUD underscore scale. And then 1. There, that fixed it. Yeah, I'm probably going to edit the source later on and make that a default. I'm probably going to modify it all to make it really close to my configuration by default, so it doesn't seem as outdated and Doomish. Because, you know, World of Kirbycraft is not Doom. And now you're able to feel free to play around. If you bring down the console, you can type in summon. Then you could type in like troll and summon this guy. Or you could type in tiger, summon this guy, K-Dog 1, you name it. You can summon the enemy and then fight them. It's really hard to do when my laptop's lagging for no reason. Still. OBS does not cause lag, just to clarify. Also, I'm probably going to make that meter not be default, by the way, but if you want to hide the meter, push F4. Push F4 and then bring up the options menu. Then select graphics. Then go to velocity meter and then change it to hide, and that will get rid of that weird meter, which is only useful if you don't know that there's falling damage in World of Kirbycraft. If you want to change characters, just go here, select the character, test that, then just do the whole take HUD, the take no HUD thing, and you'll be able to play around as Mary. She's really incomplete, but she has her own attacks like those. And can nearly break out of bounds. If you want to go to other levels, just bring down the console and type in map, then put in the space, then type in its internal lump name. For example, type in test, and you'll be taken to that test level that you... No, wait. Oh, yeah. You'll be taken to that test level that you may recognize from my levels. Well, from my videos. This one you may recognize from the How Surgery Affects Me video, where it was that nightmarish area, which I think really did look different than this, and also has missing textures right here, hence why you can see my flashy effect on that. I'm so used to no clip existing, but id clip works enough. Let me just make sure the id clip isn't on, because I just realized there's no message on... Oh no, wait, never mind, there is a message on screen. It's insanely small when it's in the corner. Expect me to probably make that centered and double in resolution. Use id clip or no clip to get to the main area, and then you can test out stuff here. There's quite a lot of stuff here, including falling platforms, which fall and respawn. Also, if you jump into one early, you may be suddenly teleported to its top. I just want to point that out. You actually can be teleported by the platform. Unfortunately, I couldn't pull it off. To go to a special stage in this level, all you have to do is just type in id clip and then go through this wall. About to say, at least I think that's how you get to it. Yeah, it's kind of confusing, it's right here. Find this and then enter this and you'll be able to go to a special stage where you only have to collect one coin. Which is because I forgot to make that higher. You can see a lot of debug text coming up because this is an early alpha. It's not really intended to be public, but due to my fears of death, I decided to release it anyways. You'll be taken here afterwards. Also, to test out race mode, just go in here, go to miscellaneous, set up race, then set how many laps that you want, then select what levels you want to go to. At the moment, you can only go to the first level, which isn't even a racetrack. So you have to manually bring down the console, type in Zane _ race course 94. Well, Zane race course 194. Type that in and you'll be taken here, which is Andy's room, which is the only racetrack in the game right now. There's also one at 101 if you're curious. But it's pretty incomplete, so I wouldn't recommend trying that one out. Without my Minecraft style running, you can tell I play a lot worse without my Minecraft style running. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, it's not here, sadly. Got to find some way to make the Minecraft style running be a standard. I don't want to take the upper path. Oh, great. Glitch out, glitch out, glitch out, glitch out. Just want to show off that the races work. With the really tiny HUD text. I don't know who in the gzdoom development team thinks that that's a good idea to make the text that embarrassingly small. Oh well. Oh yeah, and be sure to hold down the jump button when you're jumping off a ramp, because it gives you a slight amount of increased vertical height, which is just enough to land on an alternative path, which in the racetracks may be specifically placed right there, which allows you to go places like Andy's bed and run against walls and not set any new records. Also, don't try cutting off that corner. Even though there's no force field there, you will be told that you skipped a checkpoint. So let's just very quickly finish this, as this should be the finish. Complete a race. You can visit any level again by typing in map space, then the map name, which means you can also go to that incomplete racetrack, which doesn't have any of the scripting, so the finish line, despite its similarities, doesn't actually behave like that. Oh yeah, and notice that I changed the no clipping. The no clipping is now like no clip 2. Id clip now behaves like no clip 2 instead of no clip, instead of the inferior default no clip. No clip 2 is so much better, but still. Yeah. World of Kirbycraft has been released, which means you now can play around with it, including stuff that does nothing. Like that. Still though, that's how you install World of Kirbycraft. If you ever want to remove it from your computer, it's even simpler. You just delete the folder that you stuck it in. So yeah, that's how it works. World of Kirbycraft is now released. Go and try it out so I can see what you